All right, working out at home or in a gym, you can use this wonderful tool called a TRX suspension trainer. What I'm going to demonstrate today is a wide row using a TRX, okay? Rowing, what am I doing? Well, I'm working the big back muscle, the latissimus dorsi, all right? My lats are fully stretched when I'm up here, which means that if I'm doing a pull from overhead, I'm getting a really good extended range of motion on my lats. That's probably the best way to work them. But a pretty good way to work them is from up here as well, okay? So the higher my elbows are up, the more my lats are stretched. So up here, pulling in like this is a pretty good contraction on them. I'm also working with biceps, my shoulders, my rear delts, my rhomboids, which are in between my shoulder blades, and my trapezius muscles, which are in my upper back, essentially, okay? What I'm doing here is I'm rowing a boat, okay? Like so. Oars, pulling them in. I'm not rotating around like this, like I would with oars, but it's the same motion. I want to remember a few things. Number one, keep the shoulder blades from shrugging, okay? I want to use my shoulders from shrugging. I want to use my shoulder blades to pull, all right? And I want to think in terms of a three-part movement, but don't think too much about it. I just want you to know that the proper motion would be my shoulder blade contracts first, my shoulder moves, and then my elbow moves, and then elbow, shoulder, shoulder blade. But it really happens simultaneously, so the only cue I want you to remember is imagine that you've got a bunch of grapes in between your shoulder blades, and you're making grape juice, okay? You're just going to squeeze them, and then let the juice run out. Squeeze them, and let the juice run out. By squeezing my shoulder blades, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, I'm talking about from them being extended, bringing them together. When you're done, let them release so I can get a full range of motion, right? But don't slouch. So, I have this thing called the TRX because I'm able to work out at home and do a full body workout to do much more with my body than I could without it. I can attach it to the ceiling, I can attach it to a wall, or I can use a door attachment that doesn't require that I actually mount it to the door. It doesn't damage the door at all. And if I have a 4-foot by 6-foot space, I've got a workout. So I'm going to demonstrate the motion, and then I'm going to tell you what it is I'm doing. But in the demonstration, I'm going to tell you how to make it harder and easier. Then we're going to go back and do it again, and I'm going to tell you about things about posture and breathing and all that sort of thing. I'm going to lean back, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same motion I just described. Keeping my elbows high, pulling it about to the bottom of my rib cage. Really squeezing my shoulder blades. Now, if I want to make the move easier, I stand up straighter. Now it's getting easier, okay? If I want to make it harder, I increase the angle. Okay, so right in the middle of a set, I can make it harder or easier. So if I start out and it's too hard and I think, oh, I'm not going to be able to finish the prescribed number of reps or go the length of time my trainer said I should, all you have to do is step backwards, stand up straighter, and it gets easier automatically. One recommendation I'm going to make, keeping safety in mind, please, is try to stay up on your heels, because if I'm on my toes, I might bend around my knees to do this motion, which means that I'm not getting the full benefit, because the lever's only running from here down to my knees instead of here down to my feet. I'm not pulling quite as much as I could. If my feet were on the ground, toes are up, and my legs are locked, my knees are locked. Okay? Posture, it's important that you maintain tight core so that if someone was trying to punch you, they wouldn't hurt you. Your shoulder blades are pulled together a bit so your chest is expanded, you're looking straight ahead, okay? And you maintain this throughout the full range of motion. You don't sag forward or bend forward or sag like this, okay? So what I'm saying here is that it's not bending at the waist, okay? That's even worse than bending at the knees. And you're not kind of like, ugh. See, I'm sagging and I'm overcompensating here. So I'm not pulling as much as I'm using my pelvis doing hip extension, right? You want to lock in place. Notice how my head's back. It's not forward like this. My spine is straight. I'm looking at the ceiling and I keep looking at the ceiling, okay? So great exercise for the lats and for all those other muscles I mentioned earlier. That's a wide grip, prone TRX row. Remember, you want to make it harder, increase the angle, make it more parallel to the floor. Easier, stand up straighter, okay?